So today's video was supposed to be breaking down the linebackers, but a lot of you guys wanted me to react to this video, so here you go. What is up, Finn fans? So this video I've gotten a lot of DMs, a lot of people hit me up, especially in the comment section, all that stuff, asking me to react to this video. And essentially Jaylen Waddle and Jamar Chase sat down with I Am Athlete, which essentially was Omar, Chad Johnson, and I can't remember the third guy that was there. And they asked him a bunch of questions. I haven't watched it yet. I'm doing the live reaction right now for you guys. But I was in a live, a Twitter space or whatever the flip it's called, and I was listening to a lot of people talk about what some of the conversations that were going on in this, and I'm like, I have to watch this because apparently things have been said, and I'm like, you know, let me just watch it. Let me give my live reaction. So we're going to watch this, and then if I have enough time, we're going to watch Reggie McKenzie. He sat down with Travis Wingfield. We're going to watch him talk about the scouting process and all that stuff. So good amount of stuff. And again, I'm not going to watch the full hour. It's an hour and 7 minutes. I'm not going to watch the full thing. We're just going to watch kind of Waddle, and we're going to watch some of the pivotal things that he said.
Now, Tyreek talked about
That's gonna be deadly.
he wants a race.
There you go.
He has to establish his dominance as the fastest man on the team. Are you open and willing to accept that challenge?
Look, I already knew this was coming. As soon as I seen it, I'm literally in the middle of workout. My trainer come like, man, I just got Tyreek Hill. I'm like, I'm running around the gym. I'm like, okay then, whatever. But boy, I think the next day I say, man, I know he gonna try to race. Let me get on these legs real quick. Hit the legs. I'm like, I already knew that was coming. Yeah, well, we for sure gonna. I already know it's gonna come. We for sure, I don't know if it's gonna be like in front of people or.
He the fastest I done seen in person or played against, and that's hard.
We got a running back, 23 miles per hour too.
Oh yeah,
Morster.
This whole offense. People underestimate Cedric Wilson Jr., Waddle, Hill. Gaskin is fast. People underestimate how fast he is. Moser, Edmonds. This offense is going to be fast.
Morster,
Y'all got a real track team now.
So I know he gonna get in on it too. So it's gonna be a track meet for sure. Nah, we for sure gonna race. I already know.
How much do you think all of that speed is gonna try to open up the offense for the team?
I ain't gonna lie, like it's one thing you can't coach, like speed.
5 Hour Energy, because the sun is out and it's time to get outside and give it all you got.
Shit unmatched. You don't really got no answer for that. You can try to game plan for it. You can try to. Ain't nothing like one. It's going. So I feel like it's gonna open up everything, from in the backfield, from the running game, passing game, play action. I'm excited. I'm excited. It's gonna be a learning experience, but I think it's gonna be fun.
even.
That's the thing, and I've heard Reason talk about this. Shout out, you know, Inside the NFL, and I heard him talk about this as well. That you can prepare for the offense, and you can say, oh, they're going to run crossers, or they're going to run a post with a crosser underneath to try to take this away, and they're going to run this and that, and okay, yeah, that's what we're going to run it, but you got to keep up with it. You got to match it. You got to stay stride for stride with Tyreek Hill, stride for stride with Jaylen Waddle, stride for stride with Cedric Wilson. You got to stay with the offense. Lynn Bowden Jr., I forgot to throw his name in there, another speedster we have. You might, after the first series, because that seemed to have been what happened all of last year, the first series and before the half, you got a groove going and score a touchdown. All of a sudden, they're like, oh, I can pick up what they're doing. Let's just shut it down. And they would shut it down. Now it's like, all right, I can pick up what they're doing, but can you keep up with these guys?
I know it's still early. I know Mike McDaniels is offensive-minded coach, right?
Yeah.
Have you had a chance to get any snippet or just a idea what the offense is going to be like, since I'm assuming it's going to be different this year?
I think you just look back at all the teams that he's been a part of.
Right.
Like he was in Atlanta, he was
When they met on April 4th, they all got the playbook.
with
He's not-
San
he can't say
Fran.
anything.
Like, just go back and look at it. I feel like it's a system that's established and had success. So
Right.
I think he's gonna kind of complement, but you know, different weapons, different teams. So I feel like he's gonna add his own mix to it and try to work with what we got.
Out there. This man, you know, they started
off
1-7.
Oh, but look how they ended though.
Oh, that's important too.
Yeah.
But the whole time, your quarterback is under controversy because the head coach is trying to go get another quarterback.
Was it the head coach
Well, you
or was
can't
it
worry
the
about
person
that.
that's sitting all the way at the top?
That's something as a player.
That's see, I
Omar,
would
something
love.
as a player, that's something that's out of your control. You can't worry about that.
But you telling me the distractions don't impact you and your team?
No, it's still football.
We
at the
gotta
end
get
of the day.
paid. I gotta
think
do
that's
my
a media
job. I got a
narrative that
job
they
to do.
create where you think distractions bother you. Man, once
Really?
once you inside that building and your
What?
safe haven and that green grass between them lines,
It's
all
free.
that noise don't
It
even
don't
matter.
matter.
He on the
At
sun right
all.
there.
Yeah.
Hold on. So you telling me that y'all didn't have no conversations about Deshaun Watson as a team and the month-long pursuit of Deshaun Watson while Tua is there winning games for you?
So do we have a meeting?
No, I mean, no. Y'all, obviously, they had to address it in the meeting.
Yeah. Hey guys, we ain't worrying about the tour. I mean, we ain't worrying about the Deshaun Watson situation. Let's keep winning games. That's how the conversation go. What else do they got? They ain't gonna tell you nothing else.
Like
Yeah.
Chad said, like I feel like it do be a media thing, like then it be on in the
locker
lunch
room.
in the lunchroom. You be like, so it really be a media thing. Once you go into that locker room, going down that practice field, it's business, all business. That's about it.
He can't say anything. He's not going to say anything. You could tell he's not going to say anything. He doesn't want to get in trouble. Just leave it at that.
And you see everything that happened with the team transpired in the offseason. Obviously, you thought the turnaround was probably going to save Brian Flores, and then it doesn't save Brian Flores, and then Brian Flores comes out with the lawsuit against the team, claiming racial discrimination against the league, racial discrimination against the Dolphins. What do you think as a player?
You know, me, I try to stay in the player's lane. Like, I try to let the higher ups be the higher ups, the coaches
answer.
be the coaches, let the players be the players. So I try not to, like, really, like, get into what's going on up there or what they're doing. At the end of the day, I'm going to go out there and play with the guys in the locker room, not the coaches, not the, higher up. So I try to stay in the player's lane. I trust in the organization just like I trust in the coaches to do their job and try to do it as best they can. But that's just my take on it.
When the Dolphins were losing the 7 straight games, Matt Collins came out and he said that the team got together without the coaches, without anybody, and said that they need to come together and they need to, do things on their own. They need to play as a team. You'll be surprised how much the players will come together without the coaches even knowing. So with him saying that, with all that stuff, I stay in my player lane, and they take care of each other. So it makes sense.
But my goal,
Yeah, your personal goals. I know you have your team goals, team game, blah, 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 all this they always talk about. But your personal goals for this upcoming season, top what you did last year.
man, I ain't gonna lie. I think my average like 9.5 or something like that.
Yeah.
A catch. I'm way more. You feel me? I gotta show some yak. I gotta be a yak crazy out there. Like they had like 9 point something. So that's definitely something that I know I got and something that I gotta show. I ain't gonna talk too much about it. I just gotta go out there and show it.
How much do you think you could learn from Tyreek Hill in terms of that run after catch? Because that's his specialty.
Man, I think I'm gonna learn a lot. I think I can learn so much. He been in the league, he's going on 7th year. Had tremendous success. I think he's 6-time Pro Bowls, like being in the Pro Bowl every year. I learned a lot from him. I know he's gonna be like willing to teach it. So, I mean, you can soak up all that game.
Good part is he's gonna get the double team.
Yep.
You're gonna be one-on-one. So you should have a field day. Hey Jay, so Joe vouched for
Yeah, 100%. And some people don't like that he talks about yak, and some people don't like how he was, I guess you could say timid in a way. That's Jaylen Waddle. have you ever seen Jaylen Waddle come out and say anything different? It's just Jaylen Waddle. And when he's talking about the yak, that's kind of was his bread and butter. Doesn't mean that the Dolphins aren't going to throw it deep. And this is what I talk about. You give somebody a crumb, and they try to make a loaf of bread out of it. He talked about building up on his yak, right? His yards after catch. Because that's what was his bread and butter last year. Give a little crumb. And people are going to try to blow that. Well, that's all he cares about because Tua can't throw it deep, and Tua's not going to throw it deep, and this offense isn't predicated on throwing it deep, and he's not going to do this. And who cares? We'll see. We don't even know what the offense is.
I'm a creative offensive coordinator, and there would be no X. I'm just going to move everybody around and create mismatches, which I hope McDaniels do with y'all, because that's, yeah, man, I'm used to about 4-by-1. I'm sick of, I didn't really went on the women and said we win the AFC East division.
What?
Oh, the Bills fans killing me. Oh, they killing me. Oh, you think because you brought, now he ain't about, listen, they told me Mike McDaniels is a great offensive coordinator. So therefore, his creativity with weapons like that, I mean, we should sweep through the division. I don't care what the Bills defense look like. Oh, we got Josh Allen, and we got Tua. Can I do that? Can I say that?
I don't know. From Tua's standpoint, obviously, he's gone through so much in his young career. You've been here for one of the seasons. Coming back from the hip injury, taking over for Ryan Fitzpatrick, starting his second year. You know, I don't even know, coach and Tua not having a close relationship. Now he's got a new coach. What's this start going to be like for him?
For him?
Yeah.
Man, Tua one of them guys that you just gotta be around, you gotta know to know his personality. Like, he's very competitive. That's one thing I say, but I don't want to talk for him, you know. I want him to talk for himself, but I'm just gonna say he's very competitive, and I like him. He one of them guys.
So he's always driven like that?
Always. I'm talking about coming in the national championship, you know, second half, throwing the game-winning touchdown. Like, not everybody just going in there and doing that. Like, got the confidence to go in there and do that in the biggest game of his probably career at that point.
People underestimate how big of a moment that was. Not only for Tua Tagovailoa, for any type of quarterback to be put into that situation and be successful and make the type of throw he did to help them win. People underestimate that.
So, you know, I think just look at a guy work and you know the guy. For me, that's one of a good friends. So when I hear people say this, that, and the third, I'm like, come on, dog. Like, y'all tripping.
I feel like they're trying to make him the new Baker Mayfield.
Who?
Tua.
Well, he doesn't have that type of persona, though.
No. In terms of,
He don't even talk that much.
so you think they make Baker Mayfield because he talks?
Yeah.
Yeah. He talk more shit than
You're the
anybody.
quarterback. You're not supposed. If you talk the way you talk, and you got commercials
gotta
like
back it
that,
up.
you got to stand on it. You got to stand on that.
Hey.
So it's the commercial and the talking.
Yes.
It came from college. You know, he had the moxie. That's the right
Yeah.
word, moxie.
Okay.
It came
All right.
that moxie.
That's why
you know.
Johnny
Manziel.
is not in there.
Okay.
He talk. He talked this right on up out of there because he wasn't performing.
But my thought is the expectations that they're creating. They're creating this perception that the Dolphins now, the Dolphins are just ready to win. It's just on the quarterback. I don't necessarily agree with that.
You don't think so?
No, because he's a young quarterback. He's going into his third year. Came off of.
He got a lot of tools around him now, though.
Yeah. I mean, so you think the tools create that
I'm
expectation?
saying we got a young quarterback too. He used to winning.
Huh?
The tools make your job easier.
The proof is in the pudding. He used to winning.
That's true.
SEC, national championship,
Didn't win it. Nobody won a higher level.
national championship. Sound like something in the pudding. I don't know. I'm just saying. It sounds like something.
As much as someone, this is it. I've said this time and time again. This is Tua's year. And hitting Chad Johnson, I think that's Pac-Man Jones, hit the nail right on the head. They literally are like, what the Dolphins did was they made him a team to be like, you're either the guy or you're not the guy. If you're the guy, don't got to pay you that much for another year or so we can keep this team together for you to consistently keep winning with. You're not the guy? Well, we have 5 picks in the first 3 rounds. We'll get the guy. This is it.
This year.
I had the Dolphins. You are a Dolphins beat reporter. I said that the Dolphins win in the AFC East. Everybody jumped on my head. Your thoughts?
They hired the right coach who will build the right system for Tua. I've always been a fan of that Mike Shanahan, wide zone, play action. You know, remember Jake Plummer? See, people, you see that face? That's the face that, for people who remember Jake Plummer, athletic, mobile.
I remember Jake Plummer.
Jake Plummer was no slouch.
He wasn't out of slouch.
And you didn't have to have unbelievable skill level to be an efficient quarterback in that offense. If you can run with power, if you run with efficiency, it'll open up the field for guys like with speed, and you have a quarterback who can facilitate all that, you win the money.
So basically, with everything you just said, they're winning the AFC East because you just said everything you need. You have a quarterback that can facilitate. You have a running back that can open it up for the receivers, and we got speed.
And he said
So
they got an
basically, we
offensive
win in the
coordinator,
AFC
too.
East. It's okay. Go on the record and say it.
No, Josh Allen, that dude, bro. Josh Allen. You do realize.
I know who Josh Allen is.
Okay, he's
yeah.
he's that young dude, and no disrespect, but they haven't even touched the Bills in 2 years. Like, come close.
But we seen a little dog fight that second game.
In the second half.
We seen a little dog fight. Don't
In
act like
the
we
second
was
half.
Hey, man, don't worry about it. You heard what that boy said. Help coming.
No. Omar, come on. That Halloween game, 3-3 halftime, they didn't score till the middle of the third quarter. Come on. Give credit where credit's due. Waddle said it. There was a dogfight that second.
In college, you actually said that you thought Mac Jones was.
I knew this was coming.
There it is.
Really?
I knew this was coming.
Nah, I always defended you by saying that's what you gotta say.
Right.
Cause you coming out with him, and that's what. Yeah.
But I had to put my tee down.
You-
All right. I look at it like, all right, Tua's already been drafted. If I can say something to help someone get to where Tua at, why wouldn't I say it if Tua already? They was killing me about that.
You know what drove me crazy about you? When you were selected, you literally did this. You got drafted.
knew
Your
this was
whole
coming
family trying to celebrate with you, and you just like.
What people fail to realize, like, it's a production.
Yeah.
So I knew, but the clock still goes on. Like, even though I knew, so I already hugged everybody, celebrated. I went over to Pat's section, celebrated with his family. So they like, hey, just sit back down. We want to get you when they say a name on the board.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
So they called my name.
Right.
We already didn't celebrate. I was talking about it was more than enough time. Like, I don't think you hit the stage yet. Like, you think you still celebrate with your family. I already got the call. Like, so I'm like, get on. It's a good day.
Right.
I go back to the hotel. I'm trending on Twitter like #1. They killing me. They like if y'all not getting it was a person, and then they had.
Man, that was good. That was really good. I love what Waddle had to say. I love what Chad had to say. I love what Pac-Man had to say. Very insightful. The last thing, though, thank you, Waddle. Thank you, Jaylen Waddle, for saying that. So many people, and again, you take the breadcrumb and you try to make a loaf of bread out of it. So many people wanted to take him picking Mac Jones over Tua as he likes Mac. And to this day, people are still saying, oh, he likes Mac Jones better than Tua. Oh, he's not backing his quarterback. He said he liked Mac. We all knew that he was trying to help out his draft stock. I said it. So many people said it. And then, of course, there's the other people who like to make a mountain out of a molehill, came out and said, oh, no, Jaylen Waddle don't even want to be here because of Tua. He likes Mac Jones better, blah, blah, blah. Just helping his guy out. But let's real quick jump into what Reggie McKenzie had to say. But fantastic. If you want to watch the whole thing again, it's at hour 7. I cut out a good portion of it. If you want to go watch what they talked about, go ahead. But very good. Let's see what Reggie McKenzie had to say.
All fans, I'm Travis Wingfield. I'm joined here today
Marvin
by
Allen.
Marvin
My
Allen.
apologies.
Marvin, welcome into our little set here, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
We're happy to have you on, and I wanted to basically have a little sit down with you and just kind of introduce the fans to who you are, what you do, and kind of the process behind all the stuff we're doing here in Indianapolis this week. And
if you don't know who Marvin Allen is, he is one of the guys that brought in a lot of the big pieces that helped out Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, I think Travis Kelce too.
All through the draft process. So why don't we go ahead and start with, what is your title and role with the Miami Dolphins?
I am the assistant general manager for the Dolphins. I kind of help in a lot of areas with college and pro. Scouting is dividing into two different sections. College, which is why we're here, which is, looking at college guys coming out, and pro guys, which are guys that are going to be free agents that we will pursue.
So let's talk about a couple players you guys have brought into the program over the last several years. And why don't we go ahead and go to Alabama and start with quarterback Tua Tagovailoa. Just off the top, what are some things that really stood out about Tua's personality and his makeup that made you think that he was a fit for the Miami Dolphins when you first kind of started the process there?
Well, if you remember the way Tua first came into the game in Alabama, he came in and rescued him, in the championship game, and just showed all the poise and instincts and anticipation that you would want to see.
There's a
and
deep
to do it at
pass
such
that he
a high
can't throw.
level at the spur of the moment was just, that was phenomenal. And then we were able
Can't
to start
extend the
tracking
play
him
either.
as he pursued his career, and then to get to know him through the years, and just his leadership he's more of a leader by example. But he is a cool, calm, collected customer, and he's really kind of like a lion. You kind of like, it's a lot of stuff rumbling on inside, and he just kind of takes care of his business.
What do you think some of the areas that he's shown the most growth in?
His believing in himself and his teammates. I think like some of the throws that he.
So happy he said that, because one of the biggest things that I kept saying, not only his rookie year, but this past year, is he needs to start to trust himself more, as well as his rookie year needed to start to trust his receivers more, which is a little bit harder because they were playing in a pandemic year where you didn't really get to train with the receivers. But now I'm even saying his inconsistencies seem like he's not trusting himself enough. And I'm glad Marvin Allen said that.
He's been able to make, like I said, with his anticipation and accuracy, I think the guys, when they feel like they're going to be open, they know he can get them the ball.
Where have you seen him really grow in terms of on the football field over his 2 years here?
Well, I think learning the command of the offense. I mean, obviously coming from college where the offenses are not as complex as they are in the NFL, I think him learning, progressing in like reads and, what guys are going to be in a specific area and knowing who he can go to. I think he's learning those things.
One of the guys that he went to a lot last year was rookie receiver Jaylen Waddle, also at Alabama, former teammate there. When you got a chance to go through this process with Jaylen Waddle, what made him stand out among all the other receivers in that class?
Oh, his energy. I mean, I remember Chris Greer and I both were at this pro day, and I was able to meet him. And he was just a ball of fire, just energy, and then to see the explosiveness that he had on the field, that he carried that personality to match, and just you just like, this guy's going to be something.
It matches the personality of the way he plays. It's uncanny that way. So you first noticed the energy with him and the speed on the football field. I guess that's kind of a personality character trait too, but is there something else that you guys kind of uncovered about him? Because we know the high energy and the fun-loving kid, but what about from a work standpoint, or just something about him that stood out other than
this
energy?
is the general toughness. I don't know if people remember, he got hurt his senior year, and he worked to come back to play in a championship game, and he was limping, but that's how much a competitor that he was.
Yep.
It showed the toughness that he wanted to be out there with his teammates. And, he's not the biggest guy in the world, but, for him to be out there,
Look how he's
mixing it up
running
with
on
those
that
guys
bad ankle,
after,
too.
having that kind of injury just showed the kind of competitor that he is.
So when you were discussing the factors that weighed into whether or not to go to Waddle or somebody else in that draft, what ultimately was the ultimate deciding factor for you guys to make that selection there at number 6?
Well, I think it's just his explosiveness. You want as many playmakers as you can get on the field, and I think when you can put the ball in the guy's hand like that has really good hands, that it's going to catch the ball, A, and B, can make things happen once he catches it. Those are special qualities in a receiver, and I think we all saw it, and we were like, hey. And then having a relationship with Tua, that really helped, because the familiarity with those guys was really special.
Let's stay at Alabama and go on to Raekwon Davis here, another player in the same draft class there as Tua Tagovailoa back in 2020. I think there's probably an obvious answer here. Maybe it's different, but what about Raekwon stands out most when you guys met him in the draft process from a physical stature?
Well, from a physical stature, he's huge.
Exactly. Yeah, not a surprise, right?
I mean, you would
a
think
big
this
man.
guy's supposed to be like in the WWE or something.
know.
I mean, he is huge, and he is really athletic for a guy that size. You really don't get a chance to see that combination of that kind of power and explosiveness and athleticism with a guy that big.
What did you guys learn about him from the way he works?
His passion is kind of second to none. He's got an infectious personality. If you ever get a chance to meet him, you can hear him before you see him, and he is just a wonderful person. I mean, he loves to play football, and that's the kind of guys you want on your team and build around us. So when you've got guys that are that athletic and that big that love to play, you know, it's only good things can happen.
So he's big. He loves the game. What about from a technical standpoint on the football field? What really stood out to him?
Well,
to you guys about him?
Well, what we wanted him to be able to do was anchor inside, and when you're that big and that strong, it was just natural. It was a natural, you know, progression. And
What do you think from a character standpoint made him really a good fit for the Miami Dolphins?
he's selfless. I mean, this guy will go in and just eat up blocks and not try to, you know,
That's big
play
for a defensive
outside of the
tackle, especially
defensive
nose
scheme.
tackle.
And that's really things that in our defense, you know, the front line needs to be able to hold blocks at the line of scrimmage, and he's selfless. He could probably go and make some plays, but he's, you know, holding blocks for other guys to make plays.
What about some areas you think he needed to grow in that he has shown that growth in?
Coming into our system, he had to learn to play our scheme, like with his pad level playing, because he's so tall. You know, he's 6'6", so you know you're naturally towering over people. So we had to get him to learn to play with a better pad level, you know, and kind of anchor things, and he's taking everything well.
Let's go ahead and get off Alabama here and go to the Raging Cajuns and Big Rob Hunt. You talked a little bit about, you know, the journey that Raekwon made to the National Football League. I know Rob had a pretty unique path to the NFL as well. Can you speak about that process for him?
Rob is a little different. He was special to me because I was able to meet him when I went to the University of Louisiana to scout him. I just kind of fell in love with the person, you know, and even a guy this big and that athletic, you know, and then, you know, he was scheduled to play at the Senior Bowl, and I think he was injured, and we were kind of glad he didn't because
Nobody
else got a chance to see him, and like it was like our secret, and now everybody sees it.
So I'm curious, because this is, you know, kind of off the radar here, but when I watched him at Louisiana, I laughed a lot watching him because he was doing things that just did not look like he belonged on that field. Like, did you kind of get a bit of a chuckle watching his college tape?
Yes, because he was
dominant, right?
He was so dominant, and he was that athletic, and people got a chance to see a glimpse of the athleticism on
his highlight of the year.
touchdown that wasn't, that, you know,
That's
but
right.
I mean, that showed his athleticism and his power. And he's just a great person, and he's like, okay, well, we can build with guys like this.
What were some areas that you believe that he needed to grow, and kind of how has he progressed in those areas?
Well, I think just learning to play offensive line in the NFL. I mean, because it's, you know, they're not as technical, you know, sometimes in college, and having to learn the techniques and the verbiage of the plays, and still work with your footwork and your techniques and stuff. It was a growing process for him.
Two very, very good videos. Marvin Allen, great insight on the players they drafted in Waddle, Tua, Davis, and Robert Hunt. And again, you could check out those videos if you don't want to hear me talking over them on Miami Dolphins, and then I Am Athlete. It's fully 6 hour, 7 minute video. And again, I just cut out tidbits here and there. But 2 great videos. I always appreciate you guys asking me to check out videos to react to. So it was a blast. Tomorrow, linebackers. We're going to be talking linebackers. Well, and that, guys, like usual, stay classy. I'm Fins up.